Hey guys, welcome back to Easy Breezy Vegan, where I make veganism easy breezy to digest. Today, I'm going to be sharing 17 tips on transitioning to a vegan diet. You're going to want to stay tuned to the end of this video because all of these tips are important and they are in no particular order. Before we get started though, make sure to like this video, and if you're a vegan or maybe you're just vegan curious and you like to keep things easy breezy, then go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell as well if you haven't already. The number of vegans in the United States grew by 600% between 2014 to 2017. The number of vegan products continues to grow. More and more people are trying out Veganuary or are cutting their animal consumption in some way or another. So I thought it would be a good idea to share some tips about how to transition to veganism. And more importantly, some tips that will make it easier to stay vegan after you've transitioned. Now let's get started with the first tip. Transition at your own pace. I personally think that going vegan overnight is the best strategy. That's what I did, and that's what I think is easiest. Stock up on only vegan food, draw a line in the sand, and don't cross that line again. However, I think each person should choose the transition strategy that is going to help keep them vegan for the long term. There are benefits to going vegan gradually. You have time to discover new dishes, you can slowly phase out animal products from your fridge and pantry, it might be easier to adjust mentally. The downside is that sometimes people get stuck on a step. Maybe they've eliminated all meat from their diet except for fish, and they're not taking that next step to cut out fish completely from their diet. So if you're making a step-by-step transition to veganism, I recommend writing down the steps that you want to take to completely eliminate all animal products from your diet, and then coming up with a timeline on when you want to achieve those goals. There are also a lot of benefits to going vegan overnight. Your taste buds might transition a little bit more quickly because you don't have the non-vegan products to compare to the vegan products. I mean, it's probably going to be a lot harder to transition to liking plant cheese if you're still eating cow cheese. You'll experience the benefits of going vegan sooner because you won't still be incorporating animal products into your diet, and you won't be surrounding yourself with your old temptations. This transition can be hard for some people though, so be honest with yourself and do what feels right for you. There's something I gotta tell you. Okay, I think it would be best for you to transition gradually. Well, thanks for being honest. Find 5 go-to meals. When thinking about transitioning to veganism, it can seem daunting to think about what you're going to eat every day. But in all reality, most people shuffle through the same meals over and over again each week anyways. That's so true! My 5 are pizza, pizza bites, pizza rolls, pizza bagels, and pizza burritos! So find 5 vegan meals to cycle through each week, and every once in a while try out a new recipe that you can throw into the mix. It might end up becoming one of your go-to meals, or it just might end up being something that you do every once in a while. Regardless, eventually you'll have enough meals to keep things from getting monotonous. So there's no reason to stress out about finding 20 different vegan meals to make. I'm sure if you think about it, you probably cycle through the same meals over and over again. Hopefully this can make your life a lot easier and make this whole vegan thing seem a lot less scary. Also, make sure to have vegan staples in your house, just like non-vegans have certain items always in stock, like butter, eggs, milk, and frozen pizza. Vegans should also keep staples in stock. The important thing is to find out what these vegan staples are. When I first went vegan, I just did a quick Google search to find out what I should keep in the house, but I'll make sure to include a list of vegan staples in the description below. If you're hungry, eat! When becoming vegan, a lot of people continue to eat the same amount that they ate before they were vegan. Because of this, a lot of people end up not getting enough calories, and ultimately leads to them quitting veganism because they say that they were always tired, or they didn't feel good, or they were always hungry. The problem here isn't veganism, the problem here is not eating enough and not getting enough calories. Make sure I eat enough. Well, I don't think I'll have a problem with that. Plant foods have a lower calorie density than most animal products, so in general, it takes a larger amount of food to get the same amount of calories. When becoming vegan, keep this in mind. You might have to eat larger portions than you used to. It's important to rethink how you look at portions. When you first go vegan, it's a good idea to keep track of your food on an app like Chronometer. This way, you can keep track of your macronutrients and you can make sure that you're getting enough calories. I used Chronometer when I first went vegan, but I quickly learned what and how much I needed to eat in order to get enough calories and enough nutrients. Accept the possibility of failure. It's easy to slip up and make a mistake when making any lifestyle change. It's important to accept this and approach it proactively, instead of convincing yourself that you're not going to slip up. Instead, accept it as a possibility and figure out the times that you would be most likely to make a mistake. Then, figure out what you can do to avoid putting yourself in that situation. So make sure that I have a vegan option for when I feel like emotional eating? Yeah, that'll work. I recommend cooking a little bit extra each time you cook. That way you have easy go-to leftovers you can just heat up whenever you're in a hurry or are feeling lazy. This way you might be able to avoid caving in old habits such as ordering pizza or takeout that might not be vegan. I also recommend bringing snacks basically everywhere you go. Something simple like a peanut butter and jelly, an apple, a banana, or a protein bar. If you can keep the hunger at bay, it will make making those decisions that you want to make a lot easier, instead of giving into cravings. Don't beat yourself up. Did you slip up and you didn't know something had cheese in it? Or did you cave in and scarf down a whole pint of non-vegan ice cream? Don't beat yourself up. We're all human and we all make mistakes. Instead, dust yourself off and pick yourself up again. Just because you made one mistake doesn't mean you need to completely give up on being vegan. Figure out why you made the mistake and what you can do to avoid making it in the future. Maybe you need to be more clear with your server, or maybe you need to find a favorite vegan ice cream flavor to keep in your freezer. Regardless, don't let it be a reason that you give up. You don't give up eating just because you skipped one meal, and you don't give up potty training your kids just because they wet their pants once. So don't give up on a vegan diet just because you ate some cheese. Don't give up on kids. Got it. Read your labels. A good way to avoid ingesting accidental animal products is to read your ingredients. So many products seem like they should be vegan, but then they end up containing something like egg or chicken broth or beef tallow or some other animal product. The key is to read labels whenever possible, and with time, you end up learning what products you need to look out for. For instance, I now know that I need to look out for eggs in pasta, or honey in bread, or lard in refried beans. Use helpful apps. There are a lot of helpful apps that make being vegan even easier, and I'm going to go ahead and list those in the description below, but for now, I am going to take the time to talk about some of them now. Happy Cow is a search app that can show you where to find vegan and vegetarian restaurants. It can also tell you which non-vegan restaurants offer vegan options, so it's super helpful, especially when you're on vacation or away from home. Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen is a plant-based diet checklist app. You can check off and keep track of which foods you've eaten and which foods you still need to eat. The app has a checklist of how many servings of vegetables, fruits, grains, beans, nuts, and glasses of water you should be having every day. It's a great and easy way to keep track of what you're eating, and it makes transitioning to a vegan way of eating a little bit easier because it takes away a lot of the guesswork. Just follow the checklist and you'll be getting the nutrients you need. Is It Vegan is a product scanning app that scans barcodes and lets you know if a product is vegan. This can obviously make it easier to be a vegan because it takes away a lot of the guesswork. vegan.This is another super helpful resource for vegans. An app is still in the works, but the website has an extensive list of beer, wine, and other spirits that have been considered vegan, and a whole list of alcohol that has been considered not vegan. So let vegan.This be your vegan alcohol guide. Make sure to send the makers of vegan.This a personalized thank you note. Got it. Eat mostly whole food plant-based. There are so many awesome vegan products and substitutes that can make being vegan so easy. But it's super important to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that you need, and one of the easiest ways to do this is to follow a whole food plant-based diet. A whole food plant-based diet consists of fruits, vegetables, beans and legumes, nuts and seeds, and whole grains, and excludes added salt and oil. Not only is a whole food plant-based diet really healthy, but it's also the only diet that's ever been scientifically proven to reverse our #1 killer, heart disease. Holy shnikes, I didn't know that! I think this is super important, not only because you want to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that you need, but also because if you went vegan for health reasons, then you want to make sure that you're eating as whole food plant-based as possible. Because in all reality, you could eat Oreos and drink Mountain Dew all day and still be considered a vegan. And we all know that that's not healthy. Also, some of the cheapest foods are beans and rice. So if you want to save a little dough while being vegan, it might be a good idea to buy more plants and less processed foods. Don't overthink it. You don't have to prepare some artfully crafted acai bowl every meal. Phew, good to know. Sometimes it's okay to have a simple meal. Try to eat as healthy as you can, but remember, there's no shame in eating a bowl of pasta or a peanut butter and jelly or even just some cereal whenever you're in a pinch. A good portion of my meals actually really aren't thought out at all. A lot of times I just throw a bunch of stuff in a bowl and hope for the best. A lot of times it's just rice and quinoa with some beans and, some veggies, maybe some potatoes, and then I just see what happens. So don't freak out about getting every single meal perfect, because nobody's perfect. Educate yourself. When I went vegan, I watched every vegan documentary that I can get my hands on, and I started following a bunch of vegan YouTubers because I was so excited to get as much information as possible. I know not everyone is like this, but it can be really helpful. It's so important to make sure that you learn as much as you can about being vegan. Learning about how to be vegan and how to make sure that you're healthy on a vegan diet are super important. The more you educate yourself about veganism, the easier it'll be to stay vegan. A lot of these vegan documentaries and vegan YouTubers are really entertaining to watch, so it makes it really easy to learn. Let knowledge be your guide, and I'll make sure to link some vegan documentaries in the description below. Okay, so get learned. Okay, know why you want to be vegan. Staying vegan becomes a lot easier when you know why you want to be vegan. The main reasons that most people are vegan are for the animals, the environment, and for health. But a lot of vegans are vegan for multiple reasons, so I think it's really important to find out why being vegan is important to you. The more reasons you have for being vegan, the more likely you are to stay vegan. So educate yourself and find out why you want to be a vegan. When I first went vegan, my top 3 reasons were health, the animals, and to stick it to Big Pharma. Wow, you sure showed them! My reasons are slightly different now, especially the more that I've learned. But regardless, my reasons are what has kept me vegan. And there will be times in your vegan journey that some of your reasons just don't seem that important, and so it's important to have other reasons to back it up. Expect confrontation. When you break free from the herd, people are prone to confronting you. A lot of times you'll end up being the butt of some jokes. How many vegans does it take to change a light bulb? I don't know, but vegans sure do suck. If you accept and understand this, it can be a lot easier to handle when it does happen. Laugh off the dumb jokes or come up with your own comeback. Coming up with comebacks will be easy because most of the jokes are the same. Find out the most common vegan questions and come up with answers to them. At some point in time during your vegan journey, you're gonna be asked about protein and why you went vegan. So come up with some easy answers to these and to other questions. A lot of times, people are just genuinely trying to understand your decision, so help them understand. The more that you educate yourself about veganism, the easier it will be to answer these questions. Try multiple vegan products. In my vegan journey, I've tried plenty of awesome vegan products and plenty of duds. Oh, what? I'm so sorry, what is that? Just because I have horror stories about one vegan product doesn't stop me from trying another similar vegan product. So if you tried one vegan cheese and it was horrible, don't let it stop you from trying other vegan cheeses. It can even be fun. Just keep trying cheeses until you find one that you like. Supplements. Most everyone knows that vegans need to take a B12 supplement, but did you know that B12 deficiency also affects meat eaters? Iron deficiency is one of the most common vitamin deficiencies in the US, and it affects people of all diets. Vitamin D is another common vitamin deficiency. Americans spend about $35 billion on dietary supplements every year. Vegans only make up for a small percentage of the US population as a whole, so it's not just vegans that are buying these supplements. A person supplements their diet when they feel like they're not getting everything they need from their diet. People like to think that because vegans should take a B12 supplement that the diet is somehow flawed. But vegans are not the only ones that are supplementing, so to me it seems silly that they're the only ones that are getting attacked for it. I personally take a B12 supplement and a vitamin D supplement because I don't get enough vitamin D from exposure to the sun. But I think it's important for you to do your own research and find out what vitamins you should be taking. It's also a good idea to even just get a blood test to find out what vitamins you might be low on. I think this is a good idea whether you're vegan or not. If you're enjoying this video so far and you want to learn more about being vegan, make sure to check out these videos linked above. Drink plenty of water. When most people switch to eating vegan, they end up eating a lot more plant foods which contain a lot more fiber. Because it's a lot more fiber than most people are used to eating, things can get a little backed up, like down there. So it's really important to drink plenty of water to keep things moving. Find your vegan community. Try to find some like-minded people, whether it be online or in person. Join a Facebook group or join a meetup or follow a vegan Instagram page or watch vegan YouTubers. It's so important to connect with people who have the same values as you. You'll feel less alone, which will help keep you strong. You'll be able to find other people who are also going vegan who have similar experiences as you. So branch out. The bigger your support system, the more likely you are to stick with it. Enjoy yourself. Being a vegan doesn't have to be a chore. Have fun with it. Making a change can be hard, but it can also be a lot of fun to try new things. So have fun trying out new restaurants and trying out new dishes, and get creative by trying to veganize meals that you used to enjoy. Try new products, eat fruits and vegetables that you've never tried, taste test vegan snacks, try to find the perfect plant milk for you. You don't have to figure out veganism and get it perfect right away. Enjoy the journey and give yourself credit. You're trying to make a positive change in your life. Go you. Hopefully these tips have helped you out. Comment down below things that have helped you to make a personal change in your own life. I hope you enjoyed this video, and before we go, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe as well if you haven't already. Make sure to take it easy breezy and be vegan. Bye!